Thank you, Calhoun.
Hi, everybody, by the way. This is an awesome thing. Thank you, everyone. Just having a dialogue, I feel like, is the healthiest thing we could possibly do for our democracy, because we're so divided by all these laws that are coming through and just splitting us up, making us not want to talk to each other. So thank you. This is clutch. This is exactly what we need to do. I'm going to start with my priorities, and then I want to work through as much as I can in 14 minutes. If I don't get to it, there's a long-lost word in politics, and that word is being a representative. So I want to hear what you're saying, and we can talk about it after. I'll stick around. I know I work 8 hours at preschool, but I want to prove it to you. I don't want to pretend to listen. I want to prove it. So if you want to talk to me after, feel free. First issue, your name was?
Kimberly Krep.
Kimberly. Thank you for bringing up the police issue. That's why I got involved. The incident at IDR Borough. I've seen stuff all around the country going on like that, and I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't watch. And so I interviewed on my radio show Lauren Manning, who lives there, and we had gone to countless meetings and talked about why is this happening? Why is it happening on public housing? Why is it happening in public housing? We brought up notification. They didn't notify them, but also the real crux of this is why on public housing are they continuing to do training? And if Prokop said it was unjust here, if it was insensitive here, why is it not insensitive everywhere, which I believe it is? So, we went through this whole process, and we called for action, and I really didn't feel like anybody was taking action on this, not meaningful action. I felt like they were pretending to listen to me, and so that's why I took action. I'm going to be coming out with a video about it pretty soon. So what I want to see is, in places like Detroit, things are flourishing where there's a little more freedom. There's a place called the Threat Management Center, where their objective as police is not to preserve their own safety and do what the Department of Justice is kind of commanding down. I think we need someone who's going to stand up to the Department of Justice and start advocating for different models of police work that seek to create the most nonviolent outcome. Because police these days, they escalate situations a lot of the time. And like I said, they're profiling people, they're putting them on cars. There's pregnant women getting slammed down in this country right now. And it's because our psychology of policing is backwards. And we need to start addressing it very soon, because it's a major issue. Next thing is economic development stuff like vacant housing and the aquarium. Like, that's been big in the news. Everybody's talking about these huge multi-million-dollar investment things, and I gotta say, the aquarium stuff, it cracks me up. It's like, how about we meet the needs of our community before we meet the needs of Albany Development Group or BB&L? And I think we can do it without taxpayer money. I think we can start looking to creative things, like we need a voluntarily funded children's museum or a voluntarily funded skate park. We could get money through Kickstarter. The kids could be involved in the creation of it and develop skills that could be on resumes that could get them jobs in the future. And I think this is like so clutch to do also, to really develop our skills as a community, to bring up the people who are here already, not someone from somewhere else. And then that's a police issue. We need to utilize or build a training facility in Albany so that residents of public housing are not confined to their homes, threatened with arrest, their children exposed to gunfire and fake blood at their doorsteps. So I feel at the core of what I stand for is that if we simply allow the city to grow and the voices of the people to be heard, amazing things will start to happen. Not every construction project needs to be a monument to the ego with someone's name slapped on it. I'd much rather see the community come together and take ownership of something we create as a team. So economic development, the vacant housing ties into that too. I'm a big supporter of sweat equity programs. Somebody brought that up in the last one. I think that's brilliant. People are doing that where you can just work to own, make it easy, get the government out of the way, make it easy to get the buildings, and have the community do stuff. The Grant Street Arts Group, the church. You know what I'm saying? Up in Troy, they do things like the Sanctuary for Independent Media, Renovate Home Church. If you get out of the way, it can happen. We can do beautiful things with our city. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, also on the vacant thing. Now, I know Kathy Sheehan has publicly advocated for land banks, so I want to address this. Encouraging the Albany County Legislature to move quickly to pass land bank legislation as documented in a June Times Union article entitled Sheehan County Legislature passed land bank legislation now. So the first thing I do, I want to illuminate how I think about things. I ask myself, well, what is a land bank? Sure. Now I don't just go, hey, what are they doing over there? Are they doing a land bank? Oh, we want that. I ask, what is that? So, and what cities have used land banks, and what's the result? So the city of Rochester formed a land bank on February 27, 2013, as documented in City of Rochester.gov official press release of the city. And now residents of the city are filing a complaint with the Attorney General because the city sold their Midtown Tower for $2. So bureaucracy has failed. That's what I want to convey. Bureaucracy has failed. We can't give it more power. I'm all for low-cost options, offering customer sweat equity, like I said, so that people can work to own property. There are a variety of solutions that we can do as a society if we simply get it out of the way. And we hear what's going on around the country. We're connected. We've got the media. We've got the internet. We can find out these solutions. Okay, so I hit police, economic stuff. Let's see, your issue concerning, what was your name?
Joyce.
Joyce. Thanks for bringing up the mental health issue stuff. Right, wasn't that it, or?
Mm-hmm. Criminalization of addiction and substance use.
Criminalization of, yes, that's it. That's a big issue for me too, because back when I was living in Ohio, I worked as a case manager at a homeless shelter. So I saw firsthand how our system is overly punitive, and it's hard for people to get into treatment and get the things they need. I really feel like as a city, we have better things to do than be so hard on the war on drugs. I feel like it's a waste of effort and it's costly. So my priorities would not, I would not want to enforce war on drug laws. I feel like our country has the highest incarceration rate of all the countries in the world. And I don't think it's because we have worse people here in the United States. I think it's because our laws are out of control. I think it's because we're enforcing a million different laws. And we're enforcing them unjustly also, and it's disproportionate. It affects black males, and their family is getting destroyed. If we want to talk about how we're going to go forward, we have to rebuild our families. We got to heal. We got to talk to each other, and we got to stop destroying it with laws that are biased. Let's see what else did I want to address.
You were saying something about mental health. That was the question I asked that question.
Yeah, mental health.
And what's your basic position? How do you look at that at all? How do you think?
I think we need more services. There's a lot of people out there, and we just have to find an appropriate place to do it. I know interfaith hospitality is a really great resource for that, I'm pretty sure. But we've got to find a place to have them go. Let's see what else. Getting people hired, retaining the young. Okay. And specifically minorities as well too. Retaining the young, I think we need a variety of activities for them to do. Like I said, the skate park's one of them. We need to relax our zoning laws to make small business people come and enjoy the buildings. There's some places that are zoned residential, but they're clearly historical still, and we have to look at them. So about bringing the youth in. Oh, there's so many natural assets to our city, like with the 5 colleges around, and there's actually like a thriving hip-hop scene here, which is great. I know I'm kind of involved in it, actually, if you believe it, you know. But I play in a band called the Ameros, and there's guy JD, and there's Messiah's one in the Metro land. Like, I know these guys, like, these are my people. Like, I love to see music thrive. I'm a musician, so I don't really like the cabaret law, personally. I think that was a huge thing that pushed a lot of things out. And at first I thought repeal was the way to go, but I've been kind of looking at it more and hearing what people were saying. But there's a way that the process works in a way that there's a whole bunch of different agencies, and they all have to approve the permit for it. And so it takes forever, and they can selectively enforce it and do whatever. It really doesn't work out well. So I would like to see that changed, or something new entirely put in place.
What about lowering the budgets?
I'm going to say that we'll have time for questions afterwards, and let's let the candidates finish their kind of speeches.
I don't mind. I like the dialogue.
Okay.
Budget. Mayor makes $136,000 some a year. I think that should definitely come down. The school teachers shouldn't get fired while we have, I don't know what the stat is, but maybe it's like 40 that are over the 100,000 threshold. It's ridiculous. Our bureaucrats are making too much money. It's like, kind of simple, but I would start with myself. I'd bring it down. Who knows? What do you guys think? Well, I don't know. I don't make that much as it is, but I think 50,000 is reasonable. Maybe less, 30,000, whatever the teacher is. I don't know. Whatever the mean teacher gets. That's what I think. Let's see. Property tax disputes. My landlord pays $8,000 a year, and I mean, we got to find some way to get some money to do that. So I think that kind of ties into. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, you're really facing some tricky things there. The police pensions, 10 years ago, were 1% of their salary. Now they're 26% or something. That's right straight out of the budget. And so you got. I say encourage competition. I say, you know, let there be competing forces that could provide services in the security that might be able to do a better job. I mean, and then we can work on saving costs that way. Somewhere we got to save some costs. Politician salary, number one. So definitely got it. So if we can save the costs, then we can bring the property taxes down, and then landlords can start fixing up all these properties that look like CRAP. Let's see. The arts, mental health care, Albany 2030, sustainability, huge. There's two ways we can go forward with sustainability, though. There's centralized sustainability, where the 1% control it, and they tax everything out of you, and they really get you. Or there's decentralized, which I think is the way to go, and there's lots of ways to do it. Leasing solar panels is big. They can provide solar panels in an affordable way that saves you per month over a long period of time. At the end, they're yours, and get a lot of money. So I think we should encourage businesses that are doing that to come here and give tax incentives to do it. I think that's a great way to encourage sustainability and get our dependence on fossil fuels down. I would love to see some form of mass transit that was not fossil fuel driven, like either the cable cars like some people are doing, or and we can link it if the technology arises. I know Elon Musk is, he's got the car, it's called Tesla, and he's going to be coming out with various versions down to a $30,000 version that's like pretty much electric car. There's actually a lot of fueling stations around, which a lot of people don't know, but there are. I've been in a friend's electric car, and he showed me, he just pulled it up on the GPS, and places to go all around, so it is cool. So I think we should be looking towards things like that, where the people have the control, where it's truly democratic, where it's not manufactured consensus, where it's not controlled by bureaucrats, where it's not the executive order that, you know, Jerry Jennings put in, because it's got to be from the ground up if we're going to do that. And you got to be watching that as we go, as we do that. Be aware. Criminality, the river. I want to see movies in the park. I want to see more family events down by the river. Movies down on the riverfront. There was one stuff you would change about the existing Alive at 5. I would want to see for less family friendly events like that. I don't like the beer schwitz, as I've heard people call it, out in the town as I've been canvassing. I'd rather see people could drink up by the stage. I think that's pretty reasonable for a concert. All right, thank you guys. Like I said, talk to me after. If I didn't give you your perspective, I want you to get represented.
Thanks,
you.
Jeff. And we